Hey all, how are you? Welcome back. Jackson M. Haskell here. So the quick announcement is that the video coming after this on September 9th, we're talking about the verbs for Let's Talk Horror, which is really cool. I'm super excited for that. And I have this video coming on September 8th, which I'm on film right now. We're talking about Season 5 Tales from the Crypt, which is cool. I'm pleased to announce that Season 6 Tales from the Crypt will be September 14th. It's really cool. And that'll be second to last season. And here we go. Season 5 consists of 13 episodes. It ran from October 2nd, 1993 to December 8th, 1993. And we have some well-known guest stars in it. So the first episode, Death of Some Salesman. The source was Haunted Fear number 15. It was directed by Gilbert Adler and written by A.L. Katz and Gilbert Adler, October 2nd, 1993. We mentioned Gilbert Adler and A.L. Katz before, so I'm not really going to mention him. But Judd Campbell, who's played by Ed Begley Jr., is a conniving salesman who creates people out of their money by selling them the most expensive burial plots for a fake cemetery. When he ends up arriving at a wrong address, he finds new victims in the form of Ma, Pa, and Winona Brackett, played by Tim Curry in the triple role. A strange family of rednecks with a fortune buried in their basement. Unfortunately, the Bracketts have developed a burning hatred for salesmen after being swindled once too often, and Judd ends up getting more when he bargains when he tries to swindle them. So we have 3 guest stars. Ed Begley Jr. Really famous guy. We've seen him not for Let's Talk Horror, weirdly enough. He was in Batman Forever movie, but we've not seen him anything else. I don't believe. He was in Transylvania 5500, which is cool. Seen elsewhere. Tim Curry, otherwise we've actually seen a couple of things. He was Dr. Frankenfurter in a Rocky Horror Picture Show from '75, which is cool. I don't know, we definitely got, I'm pretty sure we covered a movie from a miniseries where he played Pennywise. He was also in Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. He was in Long John Silver and Muppet Treasure Island. Scary Movie 2, a lot of other movies, which is cool. And Yvonne DiCarlo played Mrs. Jones in it. I have not seen her, I believe. I just want to double check, because you never know with these older people. Her first role would have been in 1941. She sadly passed away. I don't recognize anything. Mirror would be the only one I would recognize from 1990. That's a horror film. Yeah, next episode, episode 2. We have As Ye Sow. It was from Shock Suspense Stories number 14, directed by Kyle MacLachlan and written by Ron Finley on October 2nd, 1993. We've actually seen Mr. MacLachlan before. He was in an earlier episode in season 2, I believe, in the Carry On Death episode where he plays Earl Diggs, which is cool. So it's just kind of cool seeing him as a director of an episode. But I'm not really going to mention him. Let's talk about the casting. Let's talk about this episode. Believing as wife, Bridget, played by Patsy Kensit, is cheating on him. Businessman Leo Burton is played by Hector Enziato, hires Gigi DeVoe, played by Sam Waterston, a sleazy and dubious detective, to spy on her. Soon after, DeVoe gathers evidence that leads Leo believe that Previously, the Fang Affair. Local priest John Cizak, played by John Shea. If his imagination run around, Leo resorts to drastic measurements to fix problems. We also have two guest cameos in this, in Adam West and Miguel Ferrer, which is cool. We covered both of those. So Patsy Kensit, Eve Wonder Band, which is cool. I don't know if we've seen any movies yet. Great Gatsby from '74. She was in Gold in '74. Lethal Weapon 2 in '89. Yep, I don't recognize her. We have Hector Alonso. He was in Chicago Hope, Last Man Standing, Beverly Hills Cops 3, Princess Diaries, Valentine's Day from 2010, which is cool. Sam Waterston. I don't know if you've seen him either. He was Indians, Public Theater, Abe Lincoln, Illinois. He played Nick Carraway in The Great Gatsby in '74, so nice connection there. He was in The Killing Fields. Oppenheimer, Law and Order. He played Jack McCoy, but I don't recognize him otherwise. John Shea. Nativity, Hussey, Coast to Coast, BBM, Insurgent, Italian Key. He was mainly kind of famous for his roles like Lex Luthor in 1990's TV show Lois Lane Clark, The New Adventures of Superman. He was cast as Adam Keene in the Mutant X series, which was a TV show. And he also had his role on a 5-year-old as Harold Waldorf, who was Blair's father, and Gossip Girl. We have just Adam West, Batman. There are people who know him. Miguel Ferrer. Miguel Ferrer has also appeared, I believe, in a previous season of the show. But it's just yeah, he appeared in 2 other seasons, 3 episodes. Gary Hitman and Mitch Bruckner, which is cool, from 1994. So next episode, episode 3, Forever and Burgess, directed by Gary. Oh, sorry. Source is Tales from Crypt number 44. Director is Gary Fiedler. Writer is was Scott Rosenberg. And October 2nd, 1994. I've never seen Rosenberg before. I believe. Yeah, I don't recognize. He worked on Venom, where he was a writer. It's just cool. Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, King Kong Jack. But yeah, let's talk about the cast and crew for this episode. So, washed up combat photographer Dalton Scott, played by Roger Daltrey of The Who, is told by his boss that he's losing his edge after visiting his protege, up-and-coming photographer Isaac Ike Forte, played by Steve Buscemi, a famous comedian. For dinner, Grossman goes in order with Ike's beautiful wife, Bobby, played by Lizette Shazenko, or Lizette Anthony in this case. When Dalton and Ike are sent to Central America along with a group of mercenaries for an assignment, Former cooks up a deadly scheme and sent it later into the village ravaged by a biological weapon, where Ike ends up contracting with a violent disease that causes him to rapidly decay and attempt to steal Bobby from him. And we also have a guest appearance of Titus Welliver. So, okay, let's talk about Steve Buscemi. Mystery Train. He was in Soups, Reservoir Dogs, Con Air, Death of Stalin, Monsters Inc., Big Lebowski, Billy Madison, Hubby Halloween. We've not seen him in anything for Let's Talk Horror, I believe, because he was in Grown Ups. I just want to make sure I don't recognize him from anything. There's one movie, but it's not in it. Okay, no, we've not seen him, but I just know from Tales from the Dark Side, where he plays Edward, the movie, where he plays Edward Bellingham in the segment Lock 249. Lisette, which is so cool. Husband and Wives. I don't recognize her anything else. But yeah. And we also have Titus Welliver, who's in The Town, Gone Baby Gone, Argo, Live by Night. He was Silas Adams in Deadwood. Jimmy Phelan on Sons of Anarchy. He was on Men in Black and Lost. Which is cool. Yeah. Which is cool. Next episode, episode 4, Food for Thought. It was based on Tales from the Crypt number 40, directed by Rodman Flander, ran by Larry Wilson, October 6th, 1993. Rodman Flander. I've heard of his name for some reason. Leprechaun 2 and Idle Hands is why I would know him. Good, both good in horror movies. So the Great Zambini, played by Ernie Hudson, an abusive and mentally unstable circus performer with a psychic abilities and a passion for cooking, attempts to read the minds of his assistant Connie, played by Joan Chen. As you can already read his, when he is finally able to read Connie's mind, he just shows in the middle shows Fire Eater, Johnny, played by John C. McLaughlin, causing Zamini to go insane with jealousy. And we also have Phil Fondacaro in this. Let's talk about Phil first. We've seen him before and stuff, which is cool. Bordello, he was in Bordello of Blood, he was in Black Cauldron, Double, Toil and Trouble, movie Troll, among other. Ghoulies 2 is where we would have saw him. He was also in Return of the Jedi 2, where he played Ewok in Willow. John C. McLaughlin, definitely in Hills of Eyes 2, where he played Hulk. Lawnmower Man, where he played Jake Simpson, both horror stuff. He was an Imperial Stormtrooper in the Star Wars Holiday Special. And he played Johnny in this episode. Joan Chen, The Last Emperor, Saving Face, Twin Peaks, among other content. We would have potentially saw her in. She played Jocelyn Packard in it, in Twin Peaks. I don't really recognize her hardly at all. Nightmare Cafe, she was Connie. Ernie Hudson, I didn't know him from Ghostbusters, where he plays Winston Sedmore. Airheads, he was also in the Ron Clark Show. Basketball Diaries, Congo, My Hand that Rocks the Cradle. The Crow. The Crow is a cool Let's Talk movie, which I hope to cover. Next episode, we got people who live in a brass hearse. I like this episode. It's interesting. So, it was Vault from Vault Horrors number 27, directed by Russell McKay, written by Scott Nimforo, October 13th, 1993, which is cool. Billy DeLuca, played by Bill Paxton, a thief with addiction to butter and butter products, is released from prison after serving a 2-year sentence for embezzlement with the help of his mentally escaped brother Virgil, played by Brad Dourif. Bill sets out to get revenge on Earl Bird, played by Michael Lerner, Jolly Ice Cream Man, who had reported him to police by robbing the ice cream warehouse where he works. Unfortunately, the dim-witted Virgil managed to screw up every step of Billy's plan along the way. Bill Paxton, really famous guy. You've not seen him in anything yet. We will when we get to the Alien franchise, though, where he plays, I think it's Bishop he plays. Sorry, William Bill, Private Hudson. He was also in Predators 2, Near Dark. Spy Kids 2, where he plays Dinky Inks. But yeah, let's talk about the other people. Brad Dourif, we've actually seen before. Brad Dourif is a semi-retired actor known for playing the voice of Chucky in Child's Play. He also played Grimmauld Wormtongue in Lord of the Rings trilogy, and Billy Babbitt and One Flew Over the Cuckoo. Michael Lerner, Barton Think, Keep It Arnold, Rothstein, Eddie Ben Out. Next, episode 2 for the show. It was Direct Crime Suspense Stories number 17, directed by Kevin Hooks, A.L. Katz, and Gil Bradley. I wrote it October 20th, 1993. Kevin Hooks, not really seen him. He does a lot of episodes of Prison Break, among other stuff. But, in a homage to Strangers on a Trade, Andy Conway, played by David Paymer, a toxic workaholic husband, is informed by his wife, Emma, played by Tracy Lord, that she is having an affair and wants to divorce. In a rage, Andy stabs Emma to death and cuts her into pieces. Investigated by Officer Fine, played by Vincent Spano, a policeman with his own marital issues. After stuffing Emma's remains in a suitcase, Andy boards a train to get away to evidence. When Andy discovers that Fine is on board the same train, the two men are get caught up in a deadly game of cat and mouse. Cool. David Paymer, I've seen recently, I don't know. Airplane 2, okay, Night of the Creeps, where he plays a young scientist. That's why I know him, because we covered that for Let's Talk Horror. He was also... He played, Andy Conway in this episode. Tracy Lord. I don't know if we've seen her in anything. I'm not really gonna talk about her because she does a lot of native stuff. Tales from the Crypt, Married with Children, MacGyver. But yeah, that game, Mini, Porno, Vincent Spano. I don't recognize anything. Yeah. Next up for episode 7, we have House of Horror. Based on Tales from the Crypt, number 21, directed by Bob Gale. Written by Bob Gale, also October 27, 1993. Bob Gale, comic book writer, best known for being the co-writing the future Back to the Future with Robert Zemeckis, who helped create this show. But let's talk about the crew. Arling Henderson Waters, played by Will Wheaton, Jason London, and Keith Coogan, respectively, are three pledges of a fraternity on probation who are bullied into submissions by a sadistic pledge master, Les Wilton, played by Kevin Dillon. As a final part of their initiation, the trio are challenged to get to the top floor to Coffer House, an abandoned house rumored to be haunted by the ghost of a murderer with a hacking cost. However, when the two pledges fail to return, Les decides to head up to the top floor, but in order to get them himself, only learn that his local sorority harbors a sinister secret involving the house. Will Wheaton, I just know him from Star Trek, where he plays Wesley Crusher. He was also in Toy Soldiers as Joey Truda, and Bennett Honecker and Flubber. Also, he played Gordy LaChance in Stand By Me. Jason London played Richard Pink Floyd in Dazed and Confused. He was in Rage, Carrie 2 from '99. He was also in Out Cold, where he started as Rick Krampus. Keith Coogan, I don't know if I've seen him in anything. Yeah, I don't recognize him from anything. And Kevin Dillon, he was played Johnny Chase in Entourage, Bunny in Platoon, and John Densmore in The Doors. Which is cool. Next episode, Well Cooked Hams. Tales in Crypt number 27, directed by Elliot Silverstein, and written by Andrew Kevin Walker. November 3rd, 1993. Andrew Kevin Walker, rank 7. He also wrote Sleepy Hollow AMM, and a turn of the century tale, inept magician Bill Miles Fenderman, played by Billy Zane. Blaine's assistant Greta, played by Ma'am Diambo, on a failed show and fires her. Shortly after, Miles is met by another assistant, played by Franz Creighton, played by Martin Sheen, who invites Miles to see his own show. Miles is left astonished when Creighton demonstrates his most famous illusion, the box of death, and Creighton refuses to tell Miles he pulls off the trick. Miles kills him, steals a prop for his own show. When Miles attempts to perform the trick himself, he's unaware that the box of death has been sabotaged, leading to tragic consequences. But yeah, let's talk about these people. Billy Zane, Kit Walker and the Phantom in The Phantom. He was in that match in the Back to the Future films. He was John Justice Winslow in the second season of Twin Peaks. Don't really recognize him from anything, but yeah, Mariam DeBeo, she played Cara Melovi, who was a Bond girl in Living Daylights from '87. Then Martin Sheen, big name in Hollywood. He was in Badlands, Apocalypse Now, Catch 22, Catch Me If You Can, Gandhi, Wall Street. He was Uncle Ben in Amazing Spider-Man in 2012. He was in the Execution of Private Slovak He was in Blind Ambition, in Kennedy. I don't really recognize him otherwise, but yeah. Next up, Crypt course. It was from Heart of Fear, number 23, directed by Jeffrey Boom. And it was written by Jeffrey Boom, November 10th, 1993. So Jeffrey Bohm wrote the screenplays for The Dead Zone, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, Inner Space, Lost Boys, Lethal Weapons 2 and 3, which is cool. So nerdy, Bookworm Stella, played by Nina Sosmanko, is tricked by Reggie Skolnick, a touristic jock, into giving the answers for upcoming Egyptology tests. Little does Stella know that Reggie is in league with their Egyptology instructor, pompous Dr. Finley, played by Jeffrey Jones, in exchange for Finley giving him the answers to the test himself so he can pass a course in Q's football scholarship. Reggie brings Stella to Finley's home and tricks her into becoming a virgin sacrifice for Ramseth, a long-preserved mummy, in search of his lover. And we also have Julius Carey as Detective Connors. Cool. Let's talk about these people. We've seen Jeffrey Jones before. Edward Rooney in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and he was in Charles Sheets in Beetlejuice. I'm not gonna mention him, kind of bad stuff. Nina Sosmanko, Little Noise, St. of Washington. She was in The West Wing as Eleanor Bartlett, which is cool. Anthony Michael Hall, 16 Candles, Breakfast Club, and Weird Science. He was also in Johnny Be Good, SNL. The Dead Zone, leading role in the Dead Zone show. He also had a minor role in Dark Knight. He was in the movie Halloween Kills. And Julius Carey, he played Disco. He was in the movie Disco Godfather. He played Shoe in Last Dragon, Fish Saves Pittsburgh, World Gone Wild, Princess of Briscoe County, Boy Meets World, Family Matters, A Different World. Next episode we have Time of Dawn, which is cool. Shock Suspense Stories number 9. We have directed by Yuli Edel and written by Ron Finley, November 17, 1993. Yuli Edel, Last Exit to Brooklyn, Body of Evidence, and Bender. Those are only who I know from it, actually. Norma, played by Brooke Shields, a criminal hitchhiker stranded on a road of a thunderstorm catches a ride of Roger, played by Perry King. A seemingly timid rich man who invites her to stay at his cabin. A storm clears up after she prepares to rob Roger's cabin of his valuables. Norma learns that already has a woman. Norma learns that Roger already has a woman in his life and that he and his woman are closer than she thinks. This one has a nice twist ending. We also have Michael Pollard in this too. What can I say? Brooke Shields. She was in Pretty Baby. Endless Love, The Blue Lagoon. Lipstick Jungle. She was in Law and Order Special Victims Units. She plays Beverly Goodman and Mr. Pickles. Spin-off Mama Named Me Sheriff, which is cool. Perry King, never really heard of. He was in The Hasty Heart, which is a remake of a 1949 film, which is cool. He was in Hitchhiker, class of 1984, which is cool. don't really recognize him otherwise. He was also in Lipstick, among other things. Then Michael Pollard, Wild Angels, Dirty Little Billy, Little Faust and the Big Halsey, Tango and Cash, American Gothic, Hannibal Brooks, among other stuff. Okay, so we have All's Oils Well That Ends Well. So reference All Wells Ends Well. Tales from the Crypt number 34, directed by Paul Abscol, written by Scott Nimforo. November 24th, 1993. Con artist Jerry, played with Lou Diamond Phillips, and his man-hating girlfriend, Gina, played by Priscilla Presley. Believe that no one can top them when it comes to extortion when the two begin to plan the next keeper by tricking a quartet of southern investors into thinking that there's oil buried beneath a local cemetery. Before long, the growing costs for digging up supposed oil began causing everyone living double-crossing and backstabbing each other, leading to explosive conclusion. We also have Alan Ruck in this episode, and also Rory Calhoun. And this episode also features a cameo by John Kassir, who is the voice of Crypt Keeper, and is only on-screen appearance in the entire series. Crypt Keeper is also playing the official Tales from Crypt pinball game in the intro, and watches the episode itself on VHS during the outro, which is cool. Let's talk about these people. Lou Diamond Phillips. He was an F for Stand and Deliver, La Bamba, The King and I, Young Guns, Courage Under Fire, Portugal Sun, The 33. Yeah. Priscilla Presley. So, ex-wife of legendary singer Elvis Presley. Naked Gun trilogy with Leslie Nielsen. Played Jenna Wade in Dallas show, which is cool. Alan Ruck, we've actually seen for Let's Talk Horror. I've known he's famous for one of his films, which Cameron Fry in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, which is cool. So we've seen him for Let's Talk Horror last couple years, where he was in Freaky from 2020, which is like a Freaky Friday-esque show. But I don't recognize him otherwise. Ghost Whisperer for a couple episodes. But yeah. Rory Calhoun, How to Marry a Millionaire. If I know him. But yeah. Halfway Horrible, directed by Gregory Whidden, which is cool. Written by Gregory Whidden. Gregory Whidden is creator of Highlander film and the writer director of the cult horror film The Prophecy. This came out on December 1st, 1993, and it's based on Source of Swamp of Horrors, number 26. Roger Lassen, played by Clancy Brown, the ruthless president of a chemical company, discovers that his key partners are being murdered one by one. He's told that the FDA has contacted the company, which is divertingly a new long-lasting preservative named as Excion B, to announce that they are considering suspending preservatives release because of the murders, shrinking back to when he and his friends traveled to Brazil on a business trip. Roger remembers that he offered his best friend, Alex, played by John Tenney, as a human sacrifice for receiving samples of the plant. Excion B is created from an indigenous tribe, including that Alex is the one responsible. Roger is suddenly visited by his undead former friend, who reveals that the real killer may be closer than he thinks. We got some people in this, including Cheech Marin, Martin Cove, and Costas Mandalore, which is cool. Let's talk about these people real quick. Clancy Brown has been in a lot of horror films the last couple of years. He was in Pet Sematary 2, The Kurgan Highlander. He was in Rawhide and Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai Across the Eighth Dimension. He was in Starship Troopers as Charles Zim. John Wick Chapter 4. So the reason you might know him, or I would know him at least, he played Lex Luthor in the DC animated universe from 96, 2006, Mr. Krabs. SpongeBob SquarePants, 1999 to the present. He was also Savage Opress in 2011, 2013, and Star Wars The Clone Wars TV show. And he played Surtur in Thor Ragnarok. John Tenney played Fritz Howard in The Closer in Major Crimes, which is cool. Cheech Marin, kind of found he was in Lion King 1.5, the Cars franchise, Coco, Beverly Hills Chihuahua. I always get him and Tommy Chong mixed together. Cheech and Chong. Martin Cove, he played John Kreese in The Karate Kid, who's a protagonist. He was in Karate Kid Part 2 and Part 3, and Cobra Kai. He also had Nero the Hero and Death Race 2000, Clem and White Line Fever. Yeah, Costas Mandalore, Picket Fences, and also Mark Hoffman, the Hoffmanator, in the Saw franchise, which is cool. Last episode we have is, we got some big new players in this. Till Death Do We Part, based on Haunt of Fear, number 12, P.O.W. Peter Iliff. Director and writer came out, December 8th, 1993. Johnny Campanaro, played by John Stamos, is a gigolo involved in ruthless Ruth Sanderson, played by Eileen Brennan, a wealthy but powerful middle-aged woman with heavy connections to the mafia. When Johnny begins a forbidden affair, Lucy Chadwick, played by Kate Vernon, Ruth finds out about the liaison and orders Johnny to kill Lucy herself, leaving Johnny to mentally debate what to do about the situation, about which woman he chooses to have in his life. Also starring Robert Picardo and Frank Stallion. Yeah, John Stamos, Blackie Parrish on General Hospital. I know him from Full House, where I would know him from. He played Jesse Katsopoulos there. Eileen Brennan, Divorce American Style, Last Picture Show as Peter. Yeah. Kate Vernon, she played Lorraine Prescott on Falcon Crest. Benny Hansen in Pretty in Pink. Sophia and Malcolm X and Ellen Tiggy on Battlestar Galactica, which is cool. Robert Picardo, he played Captain Cutlip on Wonder Years, Captain Dick Richard on China Beach, Doctor on Star Trek Voyager, Richard Woolsey in the Stargate franchise, and we have Frank Stallone. I only know him because his older brother is actually Sylvester Stallone, and I hope y'all enjoy. Like I said, a video coming after this on September 9th. We're talking about The Burbs for Let's Talk Horror, which is cool. Then we're going to be talking about Season 6 of Tales from the Crypt on September 14th, and I hope y'all enjoy.